TNTM, the show, presents Comicast 283 with your host, Pablo Gunner, and I'm here to talk nerdy to you about this week's comics, which is April 26th, 2017. I'm going to be reviewing these comics for you, so spoiler alert, there will be at least minor spoilers, okay? And I've concocted over many years this brilliant grade scale, okay? If you don't think it's brilliant, well then by all means, please tell me. But here it is. It goes strong by, weak by, strong skim, weak skim, and then pass is pass. And then of course we have like other terms like contender. So I'll be like, hey, this is a contender for back and bag of the week, because that's Back and Bag of the Week is the best book of the week. It's a book that deserves to be in that back and bagging, you know? And that nice sleeve. Keep it nice and pristine, mint condition. Okay? So that's where that is. That's where that goes. Oh, runner-up too. Yeah, because there's you know, if there's contenders, there's a runner-up, and then there's the B-Bow, the back and bag of the week. And see, when I review comics by myself, which has been more often than not, then it's 1 minute. There's a 1 minute timer, and so for that 1 minute timer, there's a sound that goes off that tells me when it's time to wrap it up, give my final words, and give my grade. So this is what I'm going to have for this week. I'm on a Zelda kick lately, because I've been listening to all these podcasts about Breath of the Wild, and it makes me want to just buy Breath of the Wild for my Wii U. But I haven't made that decision yet because I'm so busy playing Mass Effect Andromeda. I'm like, you know. Anyways, if you have anything to say about that, go ahead. You know, tell me in the comments, or you know, any of our social medias: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr. You know, our emails, our on the website. It's all TNTM the show. That's all of our stuff. So. Anyways, without further ado, I guess I should go ahead and whip out my comics because they're all bagged and everything like that. So I'm gonna get started on this. So we have Ben Reilly, #1 here, and the creative team is writer Peter David, penciler Mark Bagley or Bagley, I'm not sure. Inker John Dell, color artist Jason Keith. Okay, get that timer started. So yeah, we have him in this new suit, and it's funny because he's like, oh yeah, I stole it off of some cosplayer and stuff, and then you see these, the Scarlet Spider with the hood and stuff, which is really cool. But it's just in his head, and then there's other things that are in his head, like the Jackal and stuff. So I didn't know that like Ben Reilly was this cray-cray. But yeah, it seems like he has like multiple personalities going on in his head. Really weird. And it's really odd because it's like he's not Peter Parker, and he's not like, but he's kind of reminds me of like Deadpool, but not exactly. There's like an in-between those, you know? So similarities of both. And he's in Las Vegas is where he is, and so he saves some lady. He gets money from her, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, here's this gun that I just jacked from this guy that was trying to rob you." But he's like, "I don't know if I should be a hero in this moment, because if I reveal myself as a Spider-Man, then Spider-Man's gonna know that I'm around still, and then he might be pissed that I'm besmirching his name and stuff." So. But he does what he does, and the lady that owns the casino wants to have a little chat with him. So, the art is, Bagley is freaking amazing. Like, I don't know how old this guy is. I'm assuming because he's been in the business for a while. So I'm assuming he's up there in years. And he just somehow continues to get better and better. It blows my freaking mind. I don't know how, but he does. So, yeah. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, but the character I'm not digging. Like I said, he's an in between Deadpool and Peter Parker, and I'm really not liking either of those characters right now. So, and you can get both of those characters in the Spider-Man Deadpool book. So I just kind of feel like, I don't know, but they do give a teaser that they're gonna probably get to the original costume, which I love. I feel like it's a really simple, awesome, great costume. So I'll read the second issue. If it doesn't hook me by then, I'm gonna drop it because it didn't. This one didn't hook me. The art, like I said, is amazing, but it can only do so much. Now the writing's not bad. It's the character. I feel like Peter David did a good job. It's just the character that didn't really hook me. It's not what's going on and everything else, because it made sense to me. It just, like I said, it's just the character. So that being said, I would give this one, it's teetering on that like week buy for me. So right now, because I'm going to give it a buy, because like I said, it's not bad, really. The writing's not bad, and the art is amazing. But like I said, I'm not in love with this character. That's what the issue is. But like I said, I think it's the character. It has nothing to do with the writing or the art, which are both really well done. Anyways, so yeah, it's a buy. Here's a digital code. I forgot to mention, I give away all the digital codes. So here's a digital code for this book. F for Familia, C for Carlos, M for Marcos, 7, T for Tomas, P for Pablito, F for Familia, T for Tomas, J for Javier. No, I do that for Xavier. I'm an idiot, but no. Anyways, Juan, P for Pablito, and R for Rigoberto. All right. Next book, it is X-Men Blue #2. We have Cullen Bunn writing, and Jorge Molina as the artist, color artist, Matt Mia. And let's see if Cullen Bunn can do it again. So, okay, the cliffhanger ending was that this new team is being led by Magneto. So it starts with a flashback to Jean Grey meeting with Magneto in a freaking junkyard. There's all kinds of vehicles, and she's like, this is the worst place I could have met you and stuff. And he's like, okay, read my mind. He takes off the helmet and stuff. Then it flashes to the X-Men facing off against Magneto in a danger room. And they get their butts whooped. But they get their butts whooped because the whole team's not there. Bobby's doing his own thing, and so is Henry. Henry's getting into some dark stuff. He's getting to some dark magic. Bobby's having issues because he's like, it's personal issues. He's, this new guy that he's dating or something. And then, so essentially it's just about how they don't trust Magneto. And then there's a new mission, with Sentinels. And of course, Magneto does have his own plans going on. So I don't know. This one just felt like it was all over the place for me. It wasn't like one cohesive story. And in the last issue, it was one cohesive story, and it went phenomenally well. This one wasn't. And so that really hurt it a lot. Now, I can't really fully say if it's the writer or the artist because of the way that they do it. I think the writer goes, here's the plot for the issue or for the arc. And then the artist goes, okay. And then they devise their own art. And then the writer puts in the words for each panel. I think that's, from what I've heard, that's the Marvel method. So it's really hard to say whether it's the artist's fault or the writer's fault, or if the writer's like went into detail and was like, this is what I want the second issue to be, you know, blah, blah, blah. I've heard that's not really a thing, though. Like I said, not the Marvel method. So I'm not sure. I just feel like this was not a good follow-up issue, and it left me like really. It just didn't have that same feeling from the first one, and maybe it will in the third, but this really shakes my faith, because the first one's so well done, and the second one I'm like, this wasn't at all like the first one. So gosh, this one's really tough too. It's definitely not like, I can't give it a strong buy because it's like I said, I'm not completely hooked, and I want to be hooked by the second issue. I feel like I should be hooked by the second issue. But so now I'm gonna play it issue by issue. So I'll probably skim the next issue in store at Twin Comics, or at Twin Suns. Twin Suns or Age of Comics. I'll skim it and then go from there on whether or not I'm actually gonna grab it. So yeah, like I said, it's a buy right now. And here's a digital comic. F for Fin Fang Foom, Z for Zarbon, M for Mankey, 4, W for Wolverine, 8-5, another W for Wolverine, L for Logan, H for Henry, U for Ultron, M for Mankey. All right, on to Weapon X number 2. With Greg Pak writing, penciler Greg Land, inker Jay Leaston, colorist Frank Di Armata. So this one actually starts off with, and we're on the, I think we're on the res or something like that, with, God, what is his name? I forget his name. Not Proud Star. Warpath, with Warpath. And so like this herd of horses, they turn into they turn into these adamantium monsters and attack him and stuff, and he's fighting them, and then it gets back to Old Man Logan and Sabretooth fighting off, and then Sabretooth runs off, and then they actually end up doing a good job of destroying these things, but they're able to heal and stuff from like practically nothing, and then so that's and then you see how they've made a clone of Warpath. Spoiler alert! I said there was new spoilers, didn't I? So yeah, this one is, it's another one where I'm like, it's good and I'm liking it, but I'm not in love with it. So I just can't, like, I don't, and it looks amazing too. It looks amazing all the way through. And it's really well, like, I feel like it's well written and stuff. It's just like, I'm not totally hooked. I'm not totally like, oh my God, I absolutely have to have this. And I want to have that feeling. So, and I'm not getting it. So this is another book that I gotta say it's a buy. Okay. Here's the digital code. F for Familia, Z for Zorro, and for Marco 7-3. V for Villanueva, V for Villanueva, U for that's what I'm gonna go with. Y for Yucca, P for Pablito, J for Jarbon, H for Hotel. All right. Oh goodness. All right. Now it's on to X-Men Gold number 2. We have the writers Mark Guggenheim. Penciler is Ardian Syaf. For now. Inker Jay Leaston, colorist Frank Martin. Don't know when they're going to change him. I think it's going to be issue 3 or 4. So yeah, our characters, we have Kitty Pryde, Storm, Nightcrawler, Colossus, Prestige, which is Rachel Gray, and Old Man Logan. And so, yeah, it gets back to this old man, or the new Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, with some previous characters, some new characters and stuff. There's like a Mesmero or something like that. I don't know. Like, it's really confusing. There's a meeting with Kitty Pryde, and she's meeting with Hail Hydra Cap and stuff, and then Old Man Logan gets captured. But here's what's weird is Old Man Logan doesn't even look like an old man in this. He just looks like Logan, but with like white hair. So he doesn't even look old. It's weird. I'm like, I really don't like the way this artist does this guy, but of course they're going to be changing him soon, so it's not going to really matter. Anyways, Old Man Logan, he ends up getting loose and giving a good idea as to who these guys are. He beats them up, but I don't know, for whatever reason it seemed like kind of too easy. Old Man Logan was able to take him out. Old Man Logan that doesn't look like an old man except for that his hair is white. I'm what I'm ready for is an artist change, because I don't really like this artist. And so I know it's coming. So I kind of feel like I'm just I had already subscribed to this issue because I always try to get the first 2 issues of a new series. So I think it's going to be something new and different coming up in issue 2, 3, and 4, or one of those. I'd have to recheck my sources. So this is another one where, like, I like the team. The writing's not bad. I feel like Mark Guggenheim, though, is jumping too deep into the X-Men lore and mythos before getting situated with this new team. And that's really unfortunate, because I feel like that's not something that you should do in your second issue. Like, third issue, fine, but like, I feel like he's jumping into like stuff that he read back into the day. And that's not the best idea to like, it's fine, but like I said, not second issue. It's even losing me, and I'm like to call myself a hardcore guy, a hardcore, whatever, dude, X-Men fan, Not as hardcore as I used to be, but that's because it hasn't been that great. There's very good reason for that. Maybe we'll talk about it later some other time. So, anyways, yeah, this is another one I'll give a buy to. But I can honestly say that, I don't know, I'm just going to give it, I don't know. Yeah, actually, I'm going to change my grade. It's a weak buy. Like I said, I don't feel like the art I feel like the art could be better. I feel like I don't like this artist that much. I don't like the Wolverine claws. They look like blades instead of, bone covered in metal. And, so yeah. And then I feel like it's not really telling the story very well. And like I said, the writing is a little too deep, too quick. So yeah, weak buy. Here's the digital code. F for Finn, Z for Zarbon, M for Mark, X for X-Men, F for Finn, 7, H for Hotel, C for Charlie, N for Nova, Y for Yank, W for Wesker, S for Saiyan. Another Cullen Bunn book. It's Star Wars Darth Maul #3. We have Luke Ross as the artist, Nolan Woodard as colors, Rafael Albuquerque is cover artist. I don't even know why I bothered mentioning that. I mean, it's a cool cover though. So yeah, this one he wants to break out this Padawan, but of course the security systems are too well, so it doesn't work. And the lady that's running this auction catches him. And he just tries to play it off like, oh, I'm sorry, I just got overexcited, and that's why, because he was able to hide his lightsaber before she got there. And so Without him knowing, she's like, well, now that everybody knows, now I have to spread all this information to everybody. And so, yeah, of course, they don't have the money. So instead, what do? They go after the people who actually end up buying her, and they take them out so that they can get this girl. And so they do, but it turns out that it's just a setup because their ship goes down, and they're like, let the hunt begin, because they're like going to crash land on this planet or moon or whatever the hell. So, yeah. It's not what I expected it to be. I was kind of hoping that Maul would find somebody that is pissed off at the Jedi and willing to join him, and then he would go like, okay, you're going to be my new Padawan, and we're going to overthrow Darth Sidious. But that's not the case. Instead, like, she's really charming, and she's really seems pretty wise, and so it pisses him off. But so this whole hunt thing is not, it's not what I wanted, it's not what I expected, but I think it's going to be really cool. But it's also not going to have a lot of substance. It's just going to be like, oh, this is going to be cool, to see Maul like take out these people, but there's not going to be a lot of like character substance and development there. We'll see, because it seems like there's inklings throughout, and that's the most unfortunate thing is like I feel like there's so much under the surface of Maul, and nobody is really tapping into that full potential of Maul. Like, I want to know his origins. I want to know like how and why he has the double bladed, like, because nobody else has it, and it's like, why does he deserve it? It's kind of like Mace Windu. Like, Mace Windu should have his own backstory, because it's like, why does he have the purple lightsaber? I mean, if you're hardcore, but you want to see, the why and the how and everything like that. So, that being said, it looks amazing. It's interesting. It's not completely predictable, so that's good. It's not, like I said, it doesn't have as much character development as I want it to, but it's still pretty solid. So it's close to a strong buy, but it's not quite there. I'm going to give it a buy. Okay. Very close to a strong buy, though. And here's a digital code. O for, yeah, it's an O. O for Oscar, H for Hotel, 4, L for Logan, W for Wesker, M for Mark, K for Kill, H for Hotel, Z for Zillow, Q for Quill, I for Inca, H for Hotel. Alrighty, on to an Image comic. It's the Black Monday Murders #5. We have Jonathan Hickman, words by Jonathan Hickman, art by Tom Cocker, colors by Michael Garland. Letters by Russ Wooton. So yeah, there's a lot of like, blacked out stuff in this, like you would in like a secret FBI, dossier or something. And yeah, it jumps around. You have Reserva Tariqua, 1973, and then it goes to like present time, New York City, November 6th, 2017. And there's this detective. He's meeting up with his teacher to tell him about what's going on with this, and so he's going deeper into the rabbit hole. It keeps on going back and forth between that, those soldiers and stuff. There is some stuff in here where I'm just like, why was that in here? That didn't make any sense to me. There's a lot of stuff in here where I'm like, I don't see how this connects. They have like a boardroom meeting going on. One of the guys, Volkov or something, he's just a freaking a-hole. Very like confident. I would say overconfident, but it doesn't seem to be that way yet. And then this security guy, he gets a new task to like help get vengeance for this girl's brother, and stuff. This is a phenomenal book. It's super, super interesting. I really like it. It looks amazing. But it's one of those books that it's like, unless you have like the full picture, I feel like you're not going to get a lot of it. and that's its weakness in issues. I think this book will be brilliant in trade, so I'm going to stop picking it up probably after 6 and start picking it up in trade. That being said, I still feel like it's a strong buy, but I can't give it a contender because of the fact that, like I said, I feel like it would be stronger in issues. On to this next book. It's Hulk #5. Writer Mariko Tamaki, artist Nico Leon, color artist Matt Mia, and Andrew Crossley. So this one, I was like, oh, this one's gonna have She-Hulk it's gonna have Jennifer Walters hulking out for sure. Well, it turns out that it's actually a flashback of like Jennifer Walters when she's in the hospital and stuff, and then and she goes code green, which you don't even see. And then it gets back to like her getting attacked by this monster via this lady, and she still doesn't Hulk out, which doesn't make any sense to me. It's like she's being attacked. Like she has the adrenaline going, she has the anger going, I thought, and that's it. But apparently she's not angry, and then like she legitimately like gets full-blown attacked, and that's when you finally see her eyes go green, and then that's the end of the issue. I skimmed it in the store, and so I knew that she wasn't going to Hulk out in this issue because I skimmed it until the end of the issue. But it's that tease that was leading up to her the green eye that made me go, do I want this? Do I want to see this? Leading up to this, the why. It was interesting, but it's still pissing me off that we're at issue 5 yet and she hasn't Hulked out. Now I know that I'm assuming issue 6 she's gonna Hulk out, unless it's another like flashback issue, which I will definitely skim that one. And once again, go like, okay, if she hasn't Hulked out, and like I'm pretty like that's what's holding me on is this. I want to see her Hulk out, and I'm wondering like what's gonna happen after she Hulks out. So like this tease, that's what it is, and it's been a great tease. It's been a phenomenal tease. It looks amazing. It's really interesting, and it's doing a really good job of this build. Like that's why I keep on getting it, and that's why I keep on buying it, and that's why I have to keep on giving it a strong buy. But it's still pissing me off, and I'll be extremely pissed off that it's not doing that. That she's not going to Hulk out next issue. But I'm assuming she is. But I also assumed that this was going to be the issue. Like I said, it's being really well done, so it's really hard to complain. Like I said, that's why I give it a strong buy. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, that's it. Oh yeah, digital code. F for Familia, Z for Zorro, M for Marcos, E for Emilio, K for Kilo, T for Tomas, C for Carlos, H for Hector, W for Juarita, 3, A for Alamos, A for Alamos. All right, now it's Occupy Avengers #6. Apparently, I put this down on my list even though I didn't get the previous issue. David F. Walker is the writer. Gabriel Hernandez Hualta is the artist. Jordi Belair is color artist. I love this artist. He did a phenomenal job in the Vision book. You should definitely buy that trade. Anyways, so this is, like I said, I didn't miss the last issue, so I didn't really know what was going on, but I read the intro, so it's like, okay, they're in this little town in Dunston, Iowa, manure capital of the state, and right now there's some guys, and they're holding people hostage of this town, and there's Skrulls that have secretly been living a normal life in this town, and so, Hawkeye and his two teammates, this native guy and this black chick. They're helping and stuff, and so they're protecting these scrolls, and they're protecting the people of this town that are being threatened by these people. And they're like, I think they're Kree. Well, that isn't the case. I don't really want to spoil it, but it's really interesting. It's really cool. And one of the guys that's also there is like, he has to interface with this machine, to help them and protect them, but it's just like this teaser that's leading up to it, but doesn't actually happen, that will be concluded in the next issue. So yeah, this is an interesting book. I dropped it because it was not doing it for me. Like, the stakes weren't high enough. I just didn't care enough about the characters. Like, I like Hawkeye, but I'm not invested in the native guy, even though I like the native guy. I'm not invested in the black chick, even though I like the black chick. I have to be like in love with the characters for me to really keep going. And I wasn't. And I mean, this is new. This is it seems like it's a new team that's building over time. And I get that, but it's just one of those things that I'm just not, I'm not, I don't feel like putting in the money, the time, the effort, to fall in love with these characters. It's an interesting story. They have a really cool villain in this. Once you find out, like, at the end of the issue, who it is and everything. And it seems pretty compelling even. So I feel like it's really close to a strong buy, especially they did a really good job, like, sucking me in too, because this is the second, like, this is the part 2 of an arc. But I still don't care enough, and it's even an artist that I really like, to continue getting it. I just, the thing is, I have so many books that I'm buying right now, to the point where I'm like forgetting to pick up certain books. And I feel like if I'm forgetting about those books, like, that means that I'm not in love with those titles enough to go like, I have to get this book this week every time it comes out. And so this is one of those books I'm not absolutely in love with. So it's, like I said, it's really close to a strong buy, but ends up being a buy for me. Tell me what you think if you get the code. Here it is. F for Fan, C for Carl, M for Mark, P for Pal, J for Jones, 9, V for Victor, H for Hotel, 3, P for Pine, 7. Alrighty, now it's on to the Ultimate Squared number 6. We have the same creative team, I do believe, which is Al Ewing is a writer, Travel Foreman is the artist, Matt Yackey as color artist. And so this book is so trippy, so nuts, it's so out there. You get into a lot of like celestial stuff, which I really find interesting. A lot of like, just like a lot of that stuff, I feel like it's super brilliant, and it's really interesting. It's really deep. It goes into a lot of old school stuff, and I like it. And it's really cool. And then it's great because these two teams, they end up joining up, and they join up to save Galactus, which is really cool and really epic. Spoiler alert. But it's like, it's definitely, yeah, this next attack is coming soon. So I can't help but feel like this is another one of those books that, like, it's so out there and it's so crazy that, like, you have to get the full story of it in a trade. So it's a strong buy right now. But I can't, it's another one, I can't really give it a contender because it's just like, it's very confusing. It's not for everybody, but it is definitely for me. So, and here's the digital code if you want to check it out for yourself and tell me what you think. G for Jones, 5, 7, Y for Yanks, Z for Zarbon, 2, 0, or no, 8, I think it's not a 0, I think it's an O for Oscar, 8, Q for Quasar, A for Aguilar, G for Guano, and B for Bravo. All right, folks, that's the halfway point. So that means that it is time for a commercial break. This time around, I'm going to be teasing Comic-Con that is going to be coming up. It's Duke City Comic-Con, okay? And it's going to be in Albuquerque, New Mexico at the Embassy Suite, so different location, you know, it's going to be a little different. And it's really cool. It's going to be the dates of May 12th through the 14th. So that's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, second weekend of May. And we are going. We will be there. We will, you know, do some more trivia. I'm going to change up the trivia so it's fresh and different. So we hope to see you there, so I can ask you some trivia and give you some free comics. Because if you do trivia with us, that's what I do, is I hook you with some free comics. I also got like some snacks, you know, some anime, not anime, some Japanese snacks to give away. Because me and Tone Bone, we try Japanese snacks, and so that's kind of like a promo for, you know, our little Japanese snacks segment that we do, which will also be coming out in the future. You know, if they have Japanese snacks there, we'll do some live and buy some more Japanese snacks, you know, there. We'll see if they have a booth there for that. Don't know yet, but I do know that for guests, we have the original Blue Power Ranger, David Yost. So I have not, he's one of the few Power Rangers that I have not interviewed. So I'm really jacked off and hoping I can get an interview with him. He was my favorite back in the day, and definitely the new one is my favorite. The new Blue Power Ranger is my favorite. So I can't wait to talk to him about the new movie and stuff like that, and see if maybe he can be, or if he will be, do a cameo in the next movie. That would be really phenomenal. So, you know, and if there's any questions you want us to ask them, feel free to submit those to us, you know, like I said, through any of our social medias. Now, they also have the Black Power Ranger. I have interviewed him. I have, you know, and he's a phenomenal guy. I would love talking to him again because he's really great. Talk to him about the new movie and whatever he's up to. He's a phenomenal guy. We also have Diamond Dallas Page. Yes, boom. So that's gonna be really cool. So if you've seen Ready to Rumble, he was in that movie. And if you're a hardcore, you know, wrestling fan, you know him. I've been a fan of his for a long time, and I also know of his stuff afterwards because he has his own thing, and that's called like Real Men or like Yoga for Men or something like that. So it's really interesting. He has a really interesting like after the wrestling stuff. But anyway, so I would really hope I get to interview him too. That'll be really cool, you know, to maybe do like some trash talking wrestling with him. I wasn't able to do it with Ric Flair, but maybe I can do some trash talking videos with him. That would be really cool. So, and yeah, and there's other guests, you know, there's just look them up, look it up, go to their Facebook, go to their website. You know, it's the same guy, you know, Jim, that runs the Albuquerque Comic-Con and Santa Fe Comic-Con, which they just keep getting better. And this one seems like it's going to be different, you know, and I can't wait to see how it goes. It's going to be a blast, so we hope to see you there. So like I said, follow them on Facebook and everything like that. So, yeah. Time to get to our second batch of comics here. Let's see what we get. Okay, peeps. My peepos. Second batch of comics here. All right, we got Thanos #6. I don't know why I have to say it like that. Writer is Jeff Lemire. Artist Mike Diodato Jr. Frank Martin is color artist. I don't even know what kind of accent that is, but I know I'm doing it horribly. So we have Thanos, and he is in the process of breaking out of this prison, and he's just awesome. He's obliterating these guys. You also see Thane, and they have caught on to that he had this plan to like trick them to help him, you know, do this mission, and it's all to get to this, spoiler alert, Phoenix egg. Well, the thing about the Phoenix is you need like death to bring it to life, and they, like, another spoiler alert, they drop that mofo. They straight up kill him. And so if you know anything, you know what the results are. I love the paneling. I love the way that Mike Deodato does paneling. I love it. It's brilliant. He has to be like one of my favorite artists because of the way he does paneling. It just seems like a spin on like classic, paneling, but updated in a new style that is just brilliant. And I love the ending to this book, or just like, not so much the ending, but like towards the end, like what happens to Thanos, and in the interaction and stuff. And I don't know, it's really weird because it's not as satisfying as I thought it was going to be. Like, there are parts where like, wow, that was super satisfying. There's other parts where you're like, okay, that doesn't make sense why he didn't finish the job and why he didn't, follow through. But it's one of those things where it does end up leading to, like, well, they have to keep this book going. And not only that, like, it makes it unpredictable too, which is also a good thing. I do have to give this one a strong buy. I do have to give it a contender. So I may not understand where they're going with this now and why they did what they did and what the character did what they did, but I will find out in the future, and I will find out in the next issue, and that's a good thing. Like, you want a book to go, I have to find out why this person decided to do this and what they're going to do with this power that they now have. And so, and what this other person is going to do. Like, in multiple characters, like, I want to know what's going on with multiple characters, not just one character. So I have to give it a strong buy, and I have to give it a contender. Here's the digital code. B for Barrio Nuevo. O for Ocotillo. Q for Quintana. K for Kilo. D for Diego. B for Barrio Nuevo. D for Diego. F for Francavilla. T for Tomas. 508. On to the next book. We have Teen Titans number 7. This is $3.99. It also has a free digital comic at the end. It is, I believe, the same creative team that we've had for a while now, which is Benjamin Percy, Koi Pham, Von Grabaja on inks, and then I want to say Jim Charalin Perez as colors. Cool. So yeah, you have King Shark, and he attacks, and then he runs away, and it turns out he has he's turning the prisoners of Alcatraz into his personal minions and army by turning them into shark people and stuff. And this team is not doing well. And it's funny because Aqualad shows up. He's not deemed Aqualad yet, but he does help. And so they're like, okay, sure. It was weird though, because they blow him off, and that's mostly because Damien's just a freaking dick, and he's like, no, he's not part of the team. We don't need more team. We're not having tryouts. This is not how this works. We don't need you. And so even though his team's struggling, especially with this new opponent, and he ends up helping and saving the day, which of course Damien's not going to give any credit because that's how he is. But I liked it. It turned out really well. I'm interested to see more from Aqualad and this team. It's really well done. It wasn't super, super great, but it was still really, really solid. So I'm going to give this one a strong buy. And I'll give it a contender. I'll also give away the digital code here. We have D for Detective, C for Comics, 017, G for Jones, Q for Quantum, 4, Z for Zillow, L for Lupita, Z for Zillow 96. On to Infamous Iron Man number 7. It is Brian Michael Bendis as the writer, Alex Maleev as the artist, Matt Hollingsworth is the color artist. And man, this book is so cool. So we have this guy. Gosh, I don't even know who it is. But anyways, he is going to all these villains, and so he's like, "Hey, we need to." He's like, "Doctor Doom has gone good, and he attacked me and this other guy, and he took down the Mad Thinker." And then so the Hood, he's like, "We got to take him out. Let's take him out before he takes us out." Well, guess what? Doom shows up, and he just like takes them all out, and then like Shield and Grim, who was part of Shield, is like, well, so now we just got like the biggest group of like, villains turned in all at once. Like it's just freaking crazy. And then on top of that, we have Victor actually visits Ben, and he's like, I'm sorry for every past transgression. And, I know you'll never forgive me, but I'm telling you right now, I'm trying to turn a new leaf. I'm going to try to be better. I'm going to be good and everything like that. And then at the end, you have one of Ben's old buddies. That's all I'm going to say, which is probably gives you a good enough clue, but it's more than meets the eye, and it's not a Transformer. Yeah, it's phenomenal writing here. I mean, Bendis is just killer on when it comes to dialogue, and this is just being so superbly well done. That conversation between Victor and Ben was just brilliant. This one is absolutely a strong buy and a contender without a doubt. Oh, hey, I almost forgot. Digital code. F for Familia, Z for Zorro, M for Marcos, F for Familia, V for Villanueva, 1, Z for Zorro, 6, B for Barrio Nuevo, J for Juan, 3, A for Alamos. Next, it is Batman Beyond number 7. It's $3.99. This also has a digital comic. And this one is written by Dan Jurgens, art by Bernard Chang, colors by Marcelo Maiolo. And so it actually starts off with Old Man Bruce, and he's talking about stuff. He's talking about the past, and the art is just amazing, and it's really interesting. I want to find out what happened with Damian, in fact, and why he didn't take over as Batman. But where it picks up, it does pick up, with Terry, and it also picks up with Barbara and Shiva, and it's just getting worse for them, and he's blowing it off. And so they keep on trying to contact Terry, and finally they get a hold of him, and they're like, yeah, this is really bad. And he's like, oh, crap, I really messed up by ignoring this. And he shows up in the new suit, and he's messing up the new bad guys. But Batman's like, dude, you need this. I mean, Old Man Bruce is like, dude, you need to really stop using that suit because it's going to mess you up. It wasn't completed. It was a prototype. It's going to mess you up. And so it's like there's so many things going on, and it's so well balanced, and it's so well done, and it's just the new suit looks amazing and hardcore and has like all these new gadgets and stuff. It's really cool. It's really like that's why I really like Batman Beyond, because it really seemed like Batman made into an Iron Man suit, but a lot more like sleek and not so bulky. And this is like just turned up to the next level. This story is just so freaking great, and I love how it's also going along with the comics right now with the League of Shadow stuff. It's not too deep; it's separate enough, but there's definitely small ties, and I love it. So it's a strong buy without a doubt, and also a contender every time this book comes out. Digital code is D for Damian, C for Charles, 017, F for Family, 977, C for Charles, S for Senor, 7, and M for Mark. Now we have Bitch Planet number 10. It's $3.99, and it is same creators, I guess. We have Kelly Sue DeConnick as script, Valentin Delandro as art, Kelly Fitzpatrick as colors. And it's really good. Oh man, I love this book. It's so brilliant. You know, you have this patriarchal society, not too different from our own, but in the future. And it's turned up, you know, to the extreme level. And you also have this lady who is she is the president of this revolt, of this bitch planet. And one of the guards tries to take her out, and which is really intense, great moment that was handled so well. It was really intense and really terrifying. And so like they're really staging this revolt at this giant event, and it seems like the daughter of even you know, that has made this speech that this other guy is taking credit for and delivering himself. She's part of this revolt, and I love it. It's brilliant, and even more so is all the back content. They have these articles in the end, you know, where they have these people write, you know, their own points of view and stuff. Like you get different articles, and then of course, you know, like, and emails and tweets and stuff, and more content. It's just this back content, like, if this book is a strong buy on its own, it takes it to a whole new level with the back content. And so it's a strong buy. It's a contender. It's brilliant. My only problem with this book is that it's been a really long time since the previous issue came out, and so like there's a little, like, as well as good as it is, like there's a little momentum lost in that fact, like that it's been a while, and I feel like it's been months since I've gotten one of these issues, and so I would like to switch to trade for this book, but the thing is the back content, they're not putting the back content in with the trades, and because of that, I won't switch. I'd rather the back content means too much to me to switch to trade. So that being said, like right now, it is better in issues, but if they did a back content, I would switch to trade. Book is brilliant, and it will blow your mind, and it will change your mind. I suggest anybody to read this book, whether they're into comics or not. All right, now it's on to Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, number 19. This is $2.99. We have Mark Venditti writing, penciler V. Ken Marion, inker Dexter Vines, colorist Dene Ribeiro. So they're dealing with the situation, which is we have Rip Hunter, and he is wearing a Green Lantern ring. And we get the whole fallout from that. And so, but you find out, you know, like he can't make constructs and stuff like that. It's mostly just for information. There is also somebody else that is from the future, and they're like, oh yeah, you know, the Yellow Lantern Corps was ruined because they ended up joining up with the Green Lantern Corps and stuff. And, you know, so he's here to stop that. And so the story is really interesting. And then, you know, like there's these freaking things, and they're, you know, they're like, everybody arm up and get ready to fight this battle and everything like that. And yeah, it's just weird because these creatures, they're green, and so I don't know if they're made of, you know, will or not or what, but it's a really interesting book. The writing's great. The story's really interesting. I just have to say that, like, the art, not the best we've seen in this book, and it's just not the best, period. Like, and it's like there's parts where it looks pretty good, pretty solid, and times where it looks okay. So like the art really brings this issue down. Like, this would absolutely be a strong buy and a contender if the art was on the same level as the writing and the story, you know. But it's not. So that's the biggest issue here. So that holds it back from being a contender for sure. I would say it almost. I will say that it does almost hinder it from being a strong buy. It is a strong buy, but just barely. On to Flash number 21. This is $3.99. But that's because I got this awesome cover, the lenticular or whatever cover, you know. And it is written by the same guy, Joshua Williamson. Art is Howard Porter, and Hi-Fi does the colors. And so this one is Barry Allen, and he's somewhat retelling some of the fight that went on between Batman and Eobard Thawne. And so he's also doing detective work as like a CSI and stuff. And you know, you're getting like the aftermath of what happened in there, you know, and you see how badly Bruce is messed up and everything like that. And they're like, you know, obviously we should have looked into this button a little more than we did, because this wouldn't have happened. And they're like, okay, he ends up going and he goes to the his treadmill, and Batman ends up going with him, which is weird. And so they're seeing all these past things, but that they don't remember. And they're like, I don't remember any of this stuff. And then something goes haywire, and they end up in the Flashpoint world. And that's where I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to spoil any more than that. So it's interesting. It's weird. But this is also a book that, like, I'm going to continue saying this. I don't care about sounding like a broken record. I'm going to say that this book should be a it should be a Rebirth book. Like, it should just be called Rebirth, and that's it. It shouldn't be Flash. Like, Flash should be doing its own thing, you know, and Batman should be doing its own thing. And it should, you know, it should have been like Rebirth, you know, issue 4 or 5 or something like that. I don't know, but nonetheless, it's a strong buy. It's a contender. It's amazing. It looks freaking great. It's really interesting. It's amazing. And yeah, on to the next book. It's Batman Detective Comics number 955. This is $2.99. No digital code here. And it is the same creative team, I do believe, which is James Tynion IV. We have Marcio Takara actually as the artist, and then Marcelo Maiolo as the colors. And so this one is a Cassandra issue, which I love. And this is exactly what it needed. It needed that deep-rooted character development and focus. You know, we see Batman in a bad way. We see, you know, Batwing in a bad way. All of them, you know, Batwoman, they've all been taken out. But we have, you know, Orphan as she goes by, and she is just messing up all these freaking Shadow members. She is just unleashing. And it's freaking great, too, because, like, there's this girl that, you know, she was learning ballet from, like, by kind of shadowing her and stuff. And so it's great because that's the narrative, like this girl telling her about this kid's story and about how this kid ends up deciding, like, hey, you know, they decide to tell you what you are. You don't have to be that, but you can still use those tools to help people and save people. And then you can put them away once you're done with them, you know, and that she makes that same choice in this and stuff. And they're like, oh, you can't beat me alone. And she's like, I'm not alone. And it just turns out to be so great where the League of Shadows, maybe it's, you know, I love the turn on words. This is the issue that this book that this title needed, because I was feeling a little lost with this book, and this is exactly what it needed to bring me back in, to pull me back in. You know, like Godfather 3. You know, I was slowly gonna like start stepping out, and then it brought me back in. But I wanted to be brought back in though. So it's not exactly like Anyways, so yeah, this is a strong buy and a contender. It was brilliantly well done. You know, like I said, love the narrative. You know, love the character focus on Cassandra, and it was so fantastic. Now it is the last book, Superman Action Comics 978. This is $2.99. Also, no digital code. Dan Jurgens is the writer. Carlo Barberi is pencils. Matt Santorelli is inks. And then Hi-Fi on colors. And this one, he's continuing to go through his past. And this one, through like the Crystal Archives. And so this one goes into him meeting Lois for the first time. And he's like, I know all this stuff. Why? Like, nothing's changed. It goes into his villains and stuff like that. And over the ages, this great, phenomenal spread that is just magnificent. You know, I loved the blue costume that he had. That was so great. And then you see someone also revives one of his newer villains, but also kind of an older villain, which is, you know, a guy who wears shades. That's all I'm going to say. And they even go through his death and Doomsday and stuff. And he's like, oh, man, I never seen it from this point of view. You know, you get the birth of Jonathan Kent and everything like that. And so that was cool seeing that, like how that, because we haven't really seen that stuff. And then also even the lead up where he's wearing like the black suit. And I'm not talking about like when he just got out of, you know, from the death, but like when he was doing stuff undercover and even like newer stuff. And yeah, so like it looks like somebody is arming up, like in there's some squad is arming up against him. It's really interesting, really cool, and I'm interested to find out more. It's a strong buy. It's also contender. It's just so well done. I can't wait to see what's to come, and that's what a comic should do. Now it is time for the back and bag of the week. Time for me to announce the back and bag of the week. So, you know, oh man, there's so many good books this week. It's just absolutely ridiculous how many great books we have. I am gonna go with gosh, this is a tough week. This is really tough. You know what? I'm going to go with Infamous Iron Man as my runner-up. Like I said, I love the dialogue between Dr. Doom, Victor Von Doom. Not even Dr. Doom anymore, because he's now the infamous Iron Man, you know, with Ben Grimm. That was so well done. And, you know, like, I love it when comics, they throw you for a loop, like they're leading up to something, and then it just turns around to be something else. Like, even the beginning where they're like, oh, yeah, you know, we need to arm up against Doom and take him out before he takes us out, and then Doom shows up and just wrecks them. Because I went like, okay, now this is going to be about, like, how the villains are going to be, you know, this new arc is going to be about how the villains are going to take him on and try to defeat him. Nope. He takes them all out, you know, and that's so Victor. Like, it really is. You know, and he's just brilliant, and it was just awesome. And then, like, he's you know, pretty much delivering, you know, all the bad guys to S.H.I.E.L.D. He doesn't hand-deliver them, but, you know, they're all taken out, and he gives them the heads up. Then he gives Ben Grimm that, you know, a talk and stuff, and that talk was really interesting, and it's really great because there's so much history there, and it was so well done. And then the ending, spoiler alert, here it is. Ben Grimm meets, or Reed Richards shows up at, you know, as well, at, you know, to meet with Dr. Doom. And it's so, or not Dr. Doom, Ben Grimm. That's who he meets. But little do you know, it's actually the evil Reed Richards, but he looks the same. So he's pretending to be the original Reed Richards, but he's not. And so he's messing things up for Doom, and it scares me because I don't want Doom to go bad, but I fear that that might make him go bad. I can't wait to see what's to come. It's so great. But for my back and bag of the week, I am gonna go with Bitch Planet number 10. Like I said, despite the loss of momentum because it's been a while, this book gets me sucked right back in. And that's what a book should do if it hasn't been around for a while. It should suck me back in. And I love that it does that, and it's able to do that, and to get me go like, oh my God, I'm so scared for this character, and I don't even know that much about her. I just know that she's the president of this revolution for women, and that have been repressed in this society. And oh, it's making me emotional. And so it's so great, and the seeds are deep, because like I said, and this is going into a spoiler right here, is the daughter that is like, he's kind of like the VP of the society. She is in on this because she also sees it, and so she takes out the president, and it's I love it. I can't wait to read the next issue. It makes me want to reread previous issues too, and when you read something that goes like, I want to reread previous issues that I've already read, that's a powerful thing as well. But even more powerful than that is the extra content at the end, as well as the message that this book has. Like I said, it really, I can honestly say that I felt like a feminist before I read this book, but this has made me like a really strong, drive and proponent for women now, more so, and everything like that because of this book. And this is a book that, like I said, doing something that I think very few books can do, and only the best books can do this, which is change your mind and change your heart. And that's where the power lies in this book. And so that's why it's my back and bag of the week. I'm going to stop talking about it before I start crying. But just because it's such an emotional book and it's so powerful. Yeah, there you go. Like I said, runner-up is Infamous Iron Man #7. Back and bag of the week, it is Bitch Planet #10. Please tell me what your back and bag is. I hope all of you enjoy the digital comics that I was giving out. I know that this one is probably a cluster because I was trying to do this whole new YouTube streaming thing that didn't work out for like a solid over an hour. I mean, well, no, not an hour, but over 30 minutes. So it was like more like 45 minutes that I couldn't figure it out. And that's why I started late, which is why I don't have any live viewers for this live stream, as well as I'll get better about, delivering the links for it from now on, now that I know how to do this. And it's on Google Hangouts, so, and it's going to be on our YouTube from now on, that's what I'm going to try to do, and see how that goes. So please give me your feedback on that, on how this went and everything like that. Like I said, we hope to see you at Albuquerque Comic-Con. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to actually see Guardians of the Galaxy the opening weekend, which really sucks because I have to work it, and I'm not off until Tuesday, Wednesday, and unfortunately I can't get any vacation off because I tried and it didn't work. And, I refuse to call in sick because, well, for one, I don't want to get in trouble, and two, it's against my alignment. But here's the plan. If you want free comics, go to Premiere at the 7 o'clock showing. Be there like 6:30, and I will ask you some trivia, some Guardians trivia, some old, some new, like not comics related really. I might do some comics related stuff, but not too much, just because who really reads Guardians comics, it's all about the movies. No. But anyways, so I will be giving away free digital comics. I will be going as Star-Lord. So in fact, I have my stuff for Star-Lord here. So I am going to open it up right now because I have it this entire time. So here it is. I received it, like I said, a few days ago, but I haven't had the chance to try it on or any of that business. So let's see what all I got here. I got the jacket, I got the mask, and I have one of his pistols. I said I wasn't going to go all out, but here's the thing is, I'm going to use this cosplay for Duke City Comic Con. So there's a reason that I, was like, hey, I want to have more props and stuff, and I want to have props and stuff like that when I do the actual thing. I got a small, I think, for the jacket. I ended up, I think it was like $35. If I can unzip it all the way. There we go. It's a legit jacket. It's like a faux leather, but it's nice. Oh, man. Check it out, huh? Who am I? Star-Lord, man! Freaking legendary! Oh, okay, cool. So now here's the mask. This is a little kid's mask. I got a little kid's mask because I have a teeny little head. So it doesn't have sides. It just has the front. So I'm not sure if I should send it back or not. But here it is. Tell me what you think. Like, how does it look? This is fine with me. It's red. The eyes are red. So I kind of feel like Cyclops wearing this. I like it. It fits my head. I can probably loosen it. Maybe. I'm not sure. But, I have a little peanut head, so it fits me. And here's the, whatchamacallit as well, the pistol. Now, they have different pistols online. There's, like, Nerf ones, and then there's, Jesus, that was awful. I'm really sorry for that noise. But, yeah, here is this one, whatever it is. This one's super cheap. Here it is. It's super light too. It's really small. This is like a legit kid's toy because it's super teeny. In fact, I'll probably order another one just because this one's so small, just to see what the other ones are like. So I have like 2 guns just like he does, and we'll see how it goes. So yeah, there's my live unbagging, even though no one's watching this live. Unboxing, whatever. So yeah, this is sweet. This is legit. I'm happy with it. Even this like small pistol, I'm gonna use it. It's really lightweight. So yeah, like I said, keep an eye out for us at Duke City Comic Con, May 12th through 14th, and any other updates. And that's it for me for now. Like I said, remember you can find us at all things TNTM the show. That's where all of our stuff is at. And if there's anything you want us to review, check out, just give us a heads up, and we'll see if we can do it for you. There's no guarantees, but, we'll look into it. And so, yeah, that's it. So, talk nerdy to me, I'll talk nerdy to you, and remember to always keep your eyes hungry for comics.